confirm this. Genesis 3:15. Just kind of sidestep it a little bit. Now this is after the fall. Eve has been seduced by Satan, and she has fell for his words, and she has eaten the apple, and the Lord here is rebuking Satan. Genesis 3:15. Now listen. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman. And between what? Thy seed and her seed. So Jesus is essentially, God here is implying that Satan will have seed, descendants. His spirit will fill the earth just much like God's children were supposed to spread the gospel and fill the earth. But we see today that the world has become populated with his seed, those with his spirit. The Bible tells us evil men shall wax worse. You can sense it in some people when you talk to them, just much as Jesus sensed it in those Jews he was talking to when he said, "You are of your father the devil." He made no bones about it. He just spit it out just like it was. And you can sense that when you talk to some people even today. You get this sense that they despise anything good. There's no good thing that can be found in them. Their words, they are murderers, thieves. But you can see it. So we know that the enemy that we're facing, this devil, this serpent, he has seed in the earth. Okay? So let's go back then to John 8:44 again. We'll finish up that part. St. John 8:44. Start at the beginning. You are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. We see how that the devil is a father. He has offspring in the world, and he has filled the world with evil men. Okay? He was a murderer from the beginning. He's not talking about them now. He's talking about their father, the devil. He was a murderer from the beginning. And he has produced murderers. The world is filled with it. People have no sense of respect for life. Would shed innocent blood without any remorse at all. The prisons are filled with it. And they didn't have to be educated or trained that way. They are of their father, the devil, this murderer from the beginning. And abode not in the truth, talking about the devil now, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, in other words, when he speaks, it's a lie. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar, and what? The father of it. So he is a father, he has offspring. He is a murderer, and he is a liar. And he is the father of it. He is a master of the lie. Very skilled in its use. Let's go back to Genesis again, 3:4. Genesis 3:4. This is where he began his subtlety on the woman. Genesis 3:4. And he said, and the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. Now the Lord had just told them, God had just told them shortly before this, that the day that you eat of the tree, the knowledge of good and evil, you will die. Now we know they did not die flesh things, okay? But their spirit died. That connection, that special connection, the spiritual soul connection they had with God, died. And they did that. Their eyes were open, and they saw that they were naked, and they were aware of the fact that they were not worthy to even talk to God. Now, a lot of people, just as Eve did, make the mistake of thinking they can carry on a discussion with Satan that somehow their small, finite human mind is capable of equaling this being's ability to weave words and speak and tell them. Okay? But I want to read you something else maybe you haven't seen. Go to Ezekiel 28:3. Ezekiel 28:3. I'll wait till you get there. Ezekiel 28:3. Everybody got it? I don't want you to miss this. Make no mistake. When it comes to waging words of war with Satan, we are no match. Ezekiel 28:3. Now, the word of the Lord came into Ezekiel here and began to speak. And he's talking about one that the scriptures identify as Prince of Tyrants. Okay. But now, if you read that whole chapter, 28, you will see that who he's really referring to here is Satan. Okay. Now, I don't want to read the whole thing, but I'm going to just touch on a couple. Ezekiel 28:3, speaking of this tyrant, but he's actually speaking of Satan. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. Now, Satan has been around a long, long time. Okay? Now, he's not God. He's not even a little God. Okay? He's not omnipotent, omnipresent. He can't be everywhere at once. Okay? But he is wise. The scripture says right there. Thou art wiser than Daniel. Now, just so you understand, as I say, you can read that whole chapter, but if you jump quickly to 13, it'll tell you there specifically, thou hast been in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone was thy covering, sardius, topaz, and diamond. And this is exactly what he said about the devil, Satan, when he described him. Okay? The 14th verse says, thou art the anointed cherub that covereth. Okay? So it's clear from the rest of the scriptures in this chapter that he is talking about the devil. But don't be misled by that, the prince of tyrants. He is talking about Satan. Thou art wiser than Daniel.